Hey, welcome everybody. Thank you guys for joining me again on The Shift. This is Real Estate Confessions. I got a very special guest with you guys today. Trust me, you guys are going to love her. She's been in the industry since 2004. She's helped over 100 families purchase and refinance homes. She's a co-founder of Rising with Grace Move. It's a movement to help women heal and live their best lives. Okay, you can find her on Instagram as Get Mortgage Fit. With me today, I have Lucy Ibarra. Welcome to the show, Lucy.
Thank you, Oscar. I am very honored to be here.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming again. So, just really quick for my audience to understand, what is Get Mortgage Fit? What does that mean? Like, what's the whole meaning behind that name?
So, I tend to have this mentality of fitness is my lifestyle.
Okay.
Mortgage is my passion.
Sure.
Together they are my purpose.
Okay.
So, meaning that obviously I love to intertwine the two worlds together.
Okay.
They definitely get me in a position where I am about my fitness, but I want to make sure that my clients are also in a healthy home loan. So that's pretty much how I tie it together.
Nice. Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. And I'm sure from the hundreds of families that you've gone through, there's got to be some of them stories, right? You know why you're here. This is Real Estate Confessions.
Yes.
This isn't sunshine and rainbows. This isn't like the easiest little escrow that you can go through. This is why we're here. This is the fun part.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, can you kind of give us, a story that you have, something that you've gone through, obstacles that you had to go through in order to get like either a loan closed, or maybe it just went completely sour or something, something that people don't hear about.
Yes,
right?
100%. So, obviously we would love to think that every single transaction is smooth and that it's perfect. For the most part, I really try to coach our clients to make sure that they know what they are supposed to do, what they're not supposed to do.
Sure.
That doesn't always work out that way. And, I can tell you about one particular story where we ran credit for a client, got her prepared.
Gotcha.
She fully qualified
Okay.
and had a great job as a registered nurse. Had been in the profession for a good while. So, solid client, great FICO scores, ready to go.
Okay.
And
so what are some of the things that you ask of as far as like getting someone qualified? Because you do home loans, so if you guys haven't found out, but yeah, you do home loans. So what's the criteria that you usually ask for?
Typically I'll sit down with a client and I will ask them to bring in their documentation. We look over their documentation, take their loan application, and run credit. So looking at a combination of all of it, we get to pretty much figure out where they stand in regards to what they qualify for, what monthly payment they'll qualify for.
Okay.
And what happens is that when we do sit down together, I let them know, look, this is a list of the do's, the things that you can do, and the don'ts, the things that you should not do, such as deposit large amounts of money in your bank account without being able to tell me where that money's coming from.
Oh, gotcha.
Or don't have your credit ran over and over again. Do not go out and apply for that new car when we are here in escrow, and it can definitely hurt your transaction and you buying the home.
Okay. So, like, just really quick, I don't want to get too far off track, but why would someone buying a new car in the middle of escrow, how would that affect them? Because some people have asked me, like, hey, why don't you want me to buy anything, or da-da-da, like, what does that really do?
Right. So a car specifically, for example. So when you go and apply for a car, generally you are going to have your credit ran over and over again when you try for financing at a car dealership.
Gotcha.
So we can have lowered FICO scores based on that. And that can actually get you to not qualify if you've already been pre-approved. If that isn't the case and you still have a FICO score that's going to allow you to qualify with purchasing a car, now you have a new debt. So if you were just on the cusp of qualifying, this new payment is going to push you over to where you're not going to qualify, possibly, depending on where your debt to income ratios are. So that could be that.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we'll get into more detail eventually on another podcast.
Sure.
So now you've ran her credit. She's a nurse, has good income. She's been with this for quite a while, right? So
Yes. So I did a little bit of coaching. Well, I did a lot of coaching with her in regards to do's and don'ts. To where I have them sign a document that they've acknowledged that they've been coached on this.
Okay.
And we were literally getting ready to fund. Her credit report had expired. They're only good for 90 days. So if for whatever reason that happens, we do have to pull another credit report to make sure everything is the same.
Sure.
And our team had to pull a new credit report. From pulling that new credit report, she had not told me, but she actually went and purchased furniture for the home that we had not closed on yet. She co-signed for her son's student loan, and she co-signed for her daughter's car.
So she just inherited all of that debt then, right?
Yes. So although she co-signed for her children, and of course any well-meaning parent.
For sure. You want.
But like I always tell everybody, call me and discuss these new debts that you're trying to get into.
Yeah.
I'll let you know if it's a good or a bad idea. She didn't let me know. I think she thought that we were pretty much at closing and she was safe. But obviously that all came up, and it pretty much killed the deal. We had to find a workaround, and thank goodness that she had a family member that was willing to co-sign and help her. So thank goodness that family member qualified as well, because not everybody has a co-signer to help you. But we were able to close the transaction. It did take an additional 2 weeks because we obviously had to get this client pre-approved, taken care of, and everything kind of worked around. But that one was a hard one to swallow, because we were literally going to be funding and closing this deal in the next 2 to 3 days, and that obviously hindered that.
Oh my God. So you were literally going to fund, you were 2 days out, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're like fund and probably record the same day, right?
Yes.
And then running credit, and then this pops up.
Yes.
Like, what are you thinking at that point? You're just like...
You're dealing with adults, so it's one of those things, obviously, where, I'm not going to be the type of person that says, I told you so, but I want to make sure that they understand that this is why they're coming to us in this profession.
Sure.
Me as a lender specifically, because I'm going to guide you. I'm going to make sure that you know what you should do, what you should not do. And I think a lot of times what happens is that clients think that we are saying these things just to scare them, without really realizing that we are on their team. We really want them to succeed and get into their homes.
For sure.
So whatever we're telling them is for their own good. So that one was definitely quite an experience. And, thank goodness, I know she felt horrible about the situation. Like I said, being a good parent, and who doesn't want to furnish their new home? But like I tell everybody, do not do anything with your credit until you close on your deal.
Yeah, right?
Right.
Oh my gosh. So how was the conversation when you called her and let her know that, like, hey, your credit score and you don't qualify anymore?
I just remember her being kind of in disbelief, kind of like she wasn't certain whether I was, I think she really thought, okay, there's a workaround. Well, what's plan B?
Yeah.
What are we going to do now? And when I kind of pitched to her what we needed to do, what the options were, she started she went into damage control mode, but thank goodness that she, like I said, that she had somebody, because not everybody has that luxury, but she was definitely in disbelief, and you could hear the disappointment in her voice, in herself. And we just went into damage control mode. So honestly, that's pretty much where she was at.
I feel like we're like, what do they call, like psychologists at times. Or, is it psychologists? Yeah, psychologists, right?
Yeah. Well, I always say that as loan officers, we are problem solvers.
Sure.
And pretty much everybody in our industry will tell you that. We are problem solvers. We get, a pile of paperwork, and it's piece it together. What can you do with this? So, there can be credit issues, there can be things that come up, and it takes us a while to coach some of these clients. So when they make a move like that, and they hinder their own probability of getting into a home, it's a little bit frustrating. We definitely want to make sure that we let them know the truth, but now it's on their end to keep their end of the bargain so that we can go ahead and make it happen for them on their home purchase.
Because at this point, they had already signed loan docs, right? No, they didn't sign loan. Did they sign loan docs at this point?
They had not signed loan docs.
But did they release disclosures? Did they release everything?
Oh yes.
Oh my gosh.
So when this happened back then, there wasn't laws like TRID or anything like that, where they had to sign the upfront loan disclosures or loan estimates. But they had already pretty much gotten to the point where we were drawing loan docs. We were getting to that point,
Yeah.
so obviously it had to be completely restructured
Yeah.
with that new client on the loan.
Oh man, I can just imagine on the realtor's part, he's already like cashing the check, like cool, I got my commission, stuff like that. Which, as a realtor, you should never do.
Never. That's not what we're in it for.
Yeah, don't cash it or don't count it until it's physically in your bank account.
Right.
You know?
And besides that, obviously we're in this business of, I feel like we're in this business of making dreams happen,
Sure.
So even though it's something that comes from the buyer sometimes that they might make a wrong move,
Yeah.
it is a little bit frustrating and disappointing on our end, because we feel like, wow, we were almost there. We almost had you to this goal.
Yeah.
Where I'm big on speaking to my clients about what their end goal is, and
Yeah.
we almost had you there, and this happened. Granted, things are going to happen. Like I had another client that was ready to go.
Sure.
Things are going to happen in life where, unfortunately, she had a family that passed away in another country. So her down payment money had to go towards burying her mother, flying out,
What?
taking care of her that way. That's life. That's
Yeah,
not
for
something
sure.
where you made a mistake and possibly spent the down payment money on furniture for the house or whatever it may be, right?
Yeah.
Those are things that happen in life that, okay, let's work on that. Let's get you ready once again.
Yeah.
So, different story.
That was a different story. I want to hear about that story. What
Yeah,
happened to that?
so I had the pleasure of working with this client of mine for quite a few years. I want to say that she's been my longest client to stand by in my history as a loan officer. We worked together for 6 years. We worked
So what do you mean by standby? So you never did a deal with her at all until
for 6 years.
for 6? So you were
Yes.
like literally following up on her?
Yes, and it wasn't just follow up. So since the first moment we spoke, and I want to say that we started talking in about 2006. From the
Okay.
first moment we had a conversation in regards to what her goals were, getting at home with her family, I knew that she had credit challenges.
Okay.
So we spent about a year and a half on her just getting collections taken care of,
Gotcha.
things deleted off her credit, paying off stuff, establishing new credit, positive credit.
Okay.
And so we got her to that point, got
Yeah.
credit taken care of. And then it was a matter of she needed to work on the down payment portion of it.
Okay.
I was putting her into a down payment assistance program,
Okay.
and a certain credit score was required at that point. So got the credit score taken care of, got down payment assistance taken care of as well. Or we're working on getting it taken care of, but she actually made too much money, so that disqualified her. So now she had to come up with her own money.
Oh, okay.
So we had to spend another full year on that because of the fact that
1 year credit, another year savings
Yeah.
for the down.
year
and
and
closing.
a half credit, and then again for the year for the funds to come through.
Yeah.
So she finally has that. We start looking, and that's when her mom passes away.
Oh.
And she is the only child, only daughter, has to go back to Mexico, cover the funeral costs, cover travel fees for the entire, her children, her husband, and herself to travel out that way. And back to square one. She comes back home. She's saving. Obviously, I'm willing to help her from a portion of
Sure.
my commission or whatever we can do. And through all of that, because of the depression she was dealing with from losing her mom and that sort of situation, she lost time at work, got behind on some bills again, so we were back to square one on working on credit. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So it kind of cycled like that.
Yeah.
We were going through that kind of deal. Then goes through a divorce. The house is no longer a priority.
Gosh. Yeah.
The house is no longer a priority.
Definitely would be a
Feeding the
priority,
kids,
yeah.
right? Feeding the kids, taking care of the bills. So it was a very emotional roller coaster, and I'm very blessed that I was able to stick through it all with her in regards to having her not give up on herself and just, come on, we're going to do this. Let's get you ready. This is not the end all be all. We're going to work on it. So when she got her keys 6 years later, and you know this about me, I get super emotional
Sure.
when it comes to our clients. It was just a tearjerker, because here is this person that wants it so bad and is just gone. They are going through the craziest things in life, right? Loss and tons of changes. but at the end of it all, she gets her home. So
Awesome.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
so even though there's those challenges, obviously there's those happy stories at the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of them. I mean,
Oh.
6 years. I mean, I would have gave up.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think I would have gave up. But still, that's a tough a tough one, right?
It definitely would make you question, like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Why is this, why has this been such a difficult journey? But
Mhm.
that's definitely the spirit of wanting to buy your home, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I'm sure she's super happy with
Oh,
her
yes.
home, right?
Oh yes, 100%.
Super happy, and I'm
Yeah.
sure she's excited and happy that you literally stuck with her
Oh, yeah.
for those 6 years.
Yes.
1 year helping her repair her credit, another year helping her save, and then bam, did it all over again
Right.
because life happened.
Right. And we still keep in contact, and I love hearing from her. I love
Sure.
hearing, she checks in with me, and it's really nice. It's nice to have that continued relationship based on that.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we started off with the story where someone just, for some reason, bought something,
Right.
got all this debt,
Right.
and was the cause of her own doing. And then another one where life happened.
Right.
I mean, they both ended up really, really happy.
Right.
But those are some, the backstories to it, people that don't hear about, you know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Right.
with that, I hope people understand that, like, hey, making sure your credit's on point, make sure your savings is, is good. From that, what are some tips that you give someone that's looking to buy in the future?
I think really important that it's really important that you do your homework. It's really important that you sit down with somebody like myself, a professional that can guide you, because
Sure.
I get a lot of clients that come to me and they say, well, we are interested in a house up by us and it's $450,000. But they don't even know if they're in that price range.
Yeah.
They don't know if it's going to be within the monthly payment that they want, which is always my top question. Out of everything that we do together, I need to know what is the payment that you're going to be comfortable with. Because
Yeah.
you might qualify for $1 million home, but if you tell me you want an $1,800 payment,
That's not going to happen.
exactly.
Yeah.
I need to keep you within that $1,800 payment
Sure.
until you decide if that's the price range you want to be in or not. So I would tell people to sit down with somebody so that we can guide them in regards to, we got to get credit round, we got to see what's on there. We
Yeah.
have to make sure that you have, number one, the FICO scores to qualify. Number two, that you are not in a position where you might have a collection that you didn't know about.
Yeah.
That you bring down your balances, that we really review your credit report, so that's not an issue, which we just went
Yeah.
through with our last client.
Yeah.
And it's just so much nicer to get that homework done up front.
Do all the legwork first, right?
Yes,
Do all that
yes,
legwork
absolutely. We don't want to get somebody into escrow and hurt them on chance of losing deposit or or losing a home because we didn't do all of that homework up front.
First. Exactly.
So on the credit report, we see things like, sometimes we take the loan application and our clients don't disclose everything to us.
Yeah.
Which I always tell everybody, I'm on your team. If you're
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
tell anybody, I'm like your attorney in this
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Like, I am going
I need to know.
Yes.
Give it
yes,
to me.
exactly. This is where you confess everything. So
It's confessions over here. If you're Catholic or whatever, it's confessions over here,
yeah, confessions with your lender, absolutely.
Exactly.
So I might get somebody that doesn't disclose everything to me, and then it turns out they're behind on their child support. They are.
Has that ever happened?
Oh yeah.
Where
Oh,
someone
yes.
actually was like,
Yes.
like the child support popped up
Child
or something?
support arrears. Sometimes it's reported on the credit report. So
Oh, yeah.
So those are things that come up, or somebody that doesn't tell me they're paying child support. So I'm,
Oh,
we're getting them qualified on a certain amount, and it turns out they have child support. These are all things that we ask that question, but people
Yeah.
will actually tell us differently. So when it comes to all of that information,
Yeah.
the loan application really is something where it's a safety net, so that we can make sure
Yeah.
we pre-approve somebody correctly, and everything comes up. Everything comes up.
All your dirt, people.
Yes.
All your dirt.
Yes,
Don't try to hide it.
as much as you try to hide it, I mean, everything comes up to the
Yeah.
point where we run our clients' names through a terrorist database. I mean, it is to that extreme. So it's just better for us to get the complete, honest story from you, so that we can go ahead and structure it correctly from the get-go,
Yeah.
as opposed to finding out later while you're in escrow
Yeah.
and your $5,000, $3,000 deposit
Oh, my gosh,
are
yeah.
sitting there, right?
Yeah.
So I would say the biggest tips that I have are sit down with the lender, bring your documentation in, get credit ran, do all the homework up front. And when you are advised from a true professional to do certain things, stick to the plan.
Yeah.
If you stick to the plan, we will get you there. I always tell everybody, I'm not going to give up on you if you don't give up on me.
Yeah.
But I am going to be checking in on you.
Yeah.
And I am going to be making sure that you're staying on top of the homework that I'm giving you, and that if there's a new fridge that you want to buy, if there's a new car that you want to buy,
just window shop until we close.
Let me know. Yeah, let me know. I mean, November and December always worry me a little bit because I get clients that, I'll call them and check in on them, generally telling them, hey, it's the holidays, we got to be careful with credit. January's coming, tax return season's coming, we're getting a little bit closer to doing this for you. So I'm always blown away by obviously having had that conversation with them when I pre-approve them, as to make sure you don't rerun credit, make sure that you save your down payment money and don't go Black Friday shopping.
Yeah. Don't buy that TV.
Yes.
Or I guess it's not really TVs anymore. It's more like iPads and tablets and stuff like that.
Yes. And it always baffles me when I do make that call and somebody will say, oh, well, I had to do this. It was such a big discount, so I applied for the discount card at Best Buy or Target.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. It's obviously saving money, but in the long run, when it comes to your goal of purchasing a home, you are shooting yourself in the foot. So
yeah, definitely.
I would say that that's the biggest thing that I would advise, is to sit down with a true professional that can guide you on what you need to do with your finances, get you ready, let you know what your income is going to look like, let you know if you're self-employed and you're claiming a certain amount of taxes, let's get you ready so that you know what you really qualify for based on that.
Yeah. Cool. All right, Lucy. Well, thank you for being on the show. I'm sure that one almost gave you a heart attack right there because you were about to close, right?
Definitely.
Hey, this is the stuff that I like hearing about. The audience is gonna love hearing about, and hopefully you guys learn from these experiences and stuff. So, until next time, this is Real Estate Confessions, and thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.